Okay, you very, very, very strange terminally online people. We're taking a look at Project Gorgon tonight. I have never played this game before. I might have played a demo for this like in the early alpha bits of it. But I just heard that it released. And I'll play almost any MMO once. The music's not bad, but I gotta turn it down real quick. Can't even hear myself eat spaghetti. And I am eating spaghetti. New MMO with spaghetti and meatballs on a Tuesday, dude? Alright, we're gonna go on the Drava server. Log in with a Steam account. So I hear that this is a classless MMO. What do we got for options here? Not yet available. Unlock fairies, must complete a quest. Not yet available. So we got human, elf, sex addicted, and obsessively clean. I don't know. It's got to be hard to reconcile those two things. Double entendres to everything they say. Meow? It's basically the elves are the theater kids. What is this? Cat boys? From another world. Fierce and amoral warriors. Yeah, I don't really want to play a cat boy. Or like a weird theater kid. We'll just play a human. I would play a dwarf or an orc, but they ain't in the game. Kind of like this preset. Not gonna lie. Mac. We got garlic bread too. Gotta give some bread to the Mac. Bread tax. Alright, bread tax, Mac. Mac. Bazillion noses, 20 noses. I just need like a wide nose, like. No, that's a bridgy nose. No, it's a bit too pointy. Oh, that's a beak. It's like slightly wide, but like not very pointy, like a round bulbous. I don't know. That might be right. It's too long. 1 second here. I don't know. It's just like they're either like too small or too big. It's like the fucking no nose. What the heck? Lack of nose. default nose. That's too small. Let's just go with that. Yeah, I don't like any of these noses. Yeah, it's too pointy. Like a... That'll do. Sure. Ears. Who cares about ears, man? As long as they don't look like Dumbo, right? Yeah, like that. That's ridiculous. Let's just go with default ears. What about hair? Can we do hair? I mean, the hair's kind of close, but... Basic mode, advanced mode. Oh, see, you can sculpt it. I mean, that's whatever. I don't want to go too crazy with this. I want to play the game. But like, let's change the hair. Hair's a big deal, right? Let's do like... they don't have a lot of options. Not that one. I wanted like a mullet, but we might have to go with that, to be honest. It's pretty close, unless we want to do like long hair. Go bald. Maybe not a ponytail. Oh yeah, we'll do that. Make it like... Definitely no lipstick. Alright. Character name. Rambone. Alright, let's get it. I'll never join you. We'll see. Finish his mind wipe and prepare for transit. Welcome to the new server, Drava. If you have VIP time from Gorgon Shop Package, that time should be accessible on both servers, but currently it's only on the other one. We're working on that. You're working to upgrade Drava's hardware ASAP and open a third server shard. Alright. This is a game about exploration. Your first task is to find your way off this island. We'll give you 60 seconds of combat training and then set you off. Found some food and a sword. Eat the food and equip the sword. Press the backpack icon on the right of the screen. Then right-click the food and the sword icons. Let's do this. Backpack. Try your sword out. Alright. Click on and press the sword attack button at the bottom of the screen. Alright. So 1. We've got punch. Let's equip it. It'll give you armor points. Half the damage is absorbed by your armor and the other half by your health. If you run out of armor, all the damage goes to your health. If you run out of health, you die. Okay. For some reason I thought this was like a action game, but I kind of prefer tab target. It's better than what I have. Max armor 2, max armor 5, power 2, health 5. Okay. Alright. What else do we have? Strange dirt. Smelly and damp. Kingdom or a donkey? Moldy ancient helm. Ancient shield. Shoes. Kill another skeleton with your sword. Okay. Alright, let's see. Change the movement of the strafe. I like how their settings are set up. I don't know why that's not the, Oh, I got a skeleton here. Oh, and I got my strafe. He stunned me. Yeah, it reminds me of Green Man from Always Sunny. What's up here, gang? Leveled up some lore, huh? You leaf through the book for interesting tidbits. The lead wizards from each school met in secret. calling themselves the Council of 13. Had the Gorgons found them then, we would still be under the yoke of the crone hegemony to this day. I feel like I live in a crone hegemony in this day. But under the cloak of magical secrecy, they organized a rebellion. Queen Hagata declared open war upon the upstart humans and called for aid from her allies. The orcs followed her lead, but the elves of Verta refused to honor their treaty, claiming that it was an internal matter. This created a schism between the elves and the hags, which is still evident to this day. When the crones were forced out of their beloved home in Ilmari, they destroyed this great weather machine so that the council could not obtain it. Who can say if they knew what would happen as a result? Perhaps it was an accident. But in any case, Ilmari was covered in horrific storms for years. Its fertile soil was washed away and it became a barren desert. And so, the Rakshasa lost the war, yet claimed ownership of Ilmari by default. But none else care enough to fight for it. I don't know, it's like... this... I was gonna say, like, I don't really like the bright colors, like, especially on that armor. And, like, this text is not particularly easy to read. Like, the black on the beige. And it's also, like, font size 2 on my laptop screen. So, I'm kind of squinting to see it. This is too boring. You stop reading and focus on more pressing matters. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little boring. Basics of alchemy. Ooh, and laymen often confuse mycology and alchemy because they both use mushrooms. But there's a rule of thumb. If it's just mushrooms, it's mycology. If it involves combining lots of things into potions, it's alchemy. As always, there's exceptions, but the rule is at least 51% accurate. Yeah, I'll study some recipes. This book focuses on alchemy. Mycology is a lesser art, on becoming of a true mage. Creates a pile of flaked parasol mushrooms. Nice. Pick-me-up juice. Helps you see the positive side of any situation. Great for depressed people. Caution, may be addictive. Nice. I've never played an MMO where you can get hooked on drugs. Also boosts maximum health by 10 for 60 minutes. It's like, great. You pick up a sword, you kill a skeleton, you learn how to prepare mushrooms. Nice. Rotten strawberry. Alright. Not all that exciting for recipes. I mean, is it really a recipe to, like, crush something or wait for it to rot? What else you got in here? I'm gonna hit this rat. Can I hit it? Why can't? Is it bugged? What's up, y'all? Power nap. what's at the top of this. Can we hit this rat? No. Trade, invite to party. Oh, that's just a player. Butcher knife. Is it better than what I have? Cutting meat and corpses. Keep it in your inventory and you have the option to butcher corpses. Nice. Nice. Giant rat is back on the menu, boys. Absolutely love to see it. It. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump. Goodbye, world. Game launch celebration package. Yeah, I'll redeem it. What do you got? Small confetti bombs. Small fireworks. Let's do it. Let's get lost. I'll have an empty bottle. Thank you very much. What's this? I don't need food, I'm sure. Let's drop that. Let's drop that. Crude underwear. Moldy ancient pants. I already have pants? No. Drop it. What else you got? Moldy ancient helm pants. Okay, can I butcher it? I'd like to butcher something. Probably have to kill it myself, though. Strange platform. Not working. Alright. Some mushrooms. Oh, yeah. Level 1 mycology. The study of mics. The study of Big Mike. Small guy's tombstone. Got the ability to parry. Defensive maneuver. It diminishes enemies' rage and weakens their next attack. Your new parry ability depletes monsters' rage. That's the little purple bar under the health bar. When rage is full, they can do a special rage attack. That's cool. Mobs can ult on you. Skeleton Swordsman's special move will stun you. That's already happened to me. Very annoying. Try out the parry ability. Use it when your rage meter is getting full. Their rage meter. We got Swordsman Moldy. Alright. I'll take that. Swordsman Moldy. Wait, you need at least 5 unarmed, even though it's a swordsman. While unarmed skill is active, you gain +4 melee evasion. Anytime you evade a melee attack, you can recover 4 armor. Sword damage +5. That's weird. I guess I have to level my unarmed. I'll do it. I'll do it, man. No duels. It's all the basics you need. Now you can explore the island. See if you can find a way to the mainland. If you get stuck, try asking for help in chat. It's gonna be a riddle. Nah, go away. Kitty's biting my chair. It's a puzzle. It opened a chest, foodstuffs, and an old book. Alright. What kind of book? Instructions for rat taming. Sick. You just learned to charm rat. As long as you remain in the rat's natural home zone. Requires a cheese. Alright. Some sugar, salt, cheese. Nice. 3 of my favorite foods. Yeah, it's been a long day. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to play this. I just wanted to take a look at it. I don't think I have the brain power to figure out how to get off the island. Let's defeat dummy for passing grade. Your attacks each have a damage type. Sword abilities are mostly slashing, while unarmed does crushing. Monsters have different vulnerabilities. Completely immune to some types of damage. The dummy is immune to all physical. You'll need a way non-physical to destroy it. Yeah. Okay. The island's not that big. Let's do NPCs. I really don't have anything on my map. Well, I was told this game doesn't hold your hand, and that's definitely the case. Got him. Got one unarmed XP. Where do I see all my XPs? Don't have any quests. Books and lore. Okay, that's cool. It saves it. Crafting. Let's make some flakes. Not enough mushrooms. Pick me up juice. Okay, so I use parasol flakes. I'll use some of my sugar. Got my bottle of water. I thought I picked up a bottle of water. We're on strawberries. Apply glamour. I don't really feel like applying glamour. I've got one sword, one mycology, one lore. Okay. Gourmand. Metabolism. Wait a second. Do I have a hunger bar in this? Pets. Reactive pets. What's this? Loadouts. Whatever, man. Hey, how do we escape? No. And drop sack. Alright. Let me see. I got your invite. Wait a minute. Yeah. Add me on disc. I'm trying, dude. I just have to figure out where I have to put this because when I click the link, it goes to a website. I probably have to go to a new server. Yeah, this is. Hang on. All right, I got your screen name from this, but thought I already had you on Discord. It must be a different one. Let me see if I can do it this way. Yeah, I can't use that link at all. So, just add me. 1 second. Put it in the chat. There we go. Just add that. Oh, I can't even type it. What the heck? Alright. Awareness. Okay, 0017. Gotcha. Add friend. Alright, I got you. Should have a pending. All right, so we're going what? Northwest, man. All right. There it is. Can you hear me? Testing 1 2.
Can you hear me now, bro?
Yep.
Beautiful. How are you?
Pretty swell, man. I'm as you can see, I'm just I'm dabbling with a new retro style game. This was a game that was, from what I heard, was made by a couple, which is pretty wild. As you can see, like it kind of resembles sort of like Warhammer, but even more like Raw, I would say. But it's just like a, it's like a homemade stew. And there's, what's funny is it doesn't have like quests and like tutorials and stuff like that. It's like you just figure it out. So I'm like trapped on an island, and I asked some people for some directions, and they said you go to the tower in the northwest to get out. That's this thing over here. So I'm just like getting lost, basically, but around other people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sure. But it's also a classless game. So, kind of like Skyrim. You just kind of do whatever you want.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is good.
I also have spaghetti and meatballs, which is pairing really nicely with this. And you see my new freaking hat, dude. I'm so excited. It took me so long to get it. Fucking
Get what?
my freaking America First hat.
Oh, nice.
I finally. It's not easy. If it was easy, I would have had it a long time ago. Because during the great debanking, the only way to get one was to essentially like do like dark web Bitcoin things to get it. Because it was illegal to buy merchandise from Nick.
Oh my God.
Not illegal, but whatever, what was agreed. It was just, the entire private finance sector deciding to, because illegal assumes, law and government, but it was outside of the law and the government. They were all just like, yeah, no, you can't take credit card payments or use a bank.
Wow.
Which, it's crazy. I remember when I was a kid, you'd rarely hear about debanking, and it was like reserved only for like really high profile like terrorists. And then all of a sudden, like, we get older and it's like, well, now Kanye's debanked, and you know Nick Fuentes is debanked, and it's like, dude, it's like people just kind of like agreed to it at first because it was just like, oh yeah, you know, if it's for, you know, whatever. I don't even know. I don't even know
Let's say
what.
left. That's fine. Hey, Vicky.
I don't even know, like, it's such a loaded term. I don't even like saying the word terrorist. But, you know what I mean. An enemy of the state, I guess. So in that regard, I mean, like, well, they are enemies of the state, so. I don't know if they're terrorizing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're terrorizing anybody, but. You know what I mean? Like people walk around absolutely afraid all the time. I don't know. I'm kind of getting out in the weeds, but anyway, circle it back to the hat, okay? So I had Bitcoin and I wanted the hat, but I didn't want to jump through all the hoops to, you know, do this like really bizarre procedure that I was like, I don't even know if this is like gonna get me in trouble or if I'm gonna like get scammed out of my Bitcoin. So I was like, I'll wait. And then finally, I don't even know how, he was allowed to take credit card payments from somebody. And even after I swiped, it still took like a couple of months because it's a pretty small operation.
Wow.
To fill the order. And with the hat, I ordered a flag, and they're like, oh, the flags are like gonna take even longer, like, you know. So it's funny because I'm like, the only merchandise I've been buying online in like the last 2 years is like Kanye clothes and like a Nick hat and a flag. And the Kanye clothes took like 9 or 10 months to show up because of all the difficulties that he's had. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, they're like, the flag could take like 3 months. Would you like a refund? I'm like, nah. I waited 9 months for Kanye merchandise. I'll wait 3 months for some more Nick merchandise. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they want to make it as like difficult as possible, and I'm like, joke's on you. I've been practicing patience, so. And then like it's so long that like I'll actually like forget about it, and then when it shows up, it's like a pleasant surprise. That's how this hat was. I was like, oh, I ordered this like months ago, and I kind of forgot about it. Put it on the back burner. It's like not really forgot, but I wasn't keeping track of the time. I was just like, it'll be somewhere in the future.
Yeah.
And then it shows up.
Yes, that is very monk-like of you, sir.
Mm-hmm. It is a best in slot headpiece for the current meta, though.
Yeah.
Best in slot, at least for the content that I'm running.
Yes.
All right. I feel like I totally just whiz bang ran right past the. I gotta ask for directions at the tower. These guys. But yeah. Figured I'd check this out. I actually like played an early alpha build of this like years ago, I'm pretty sure. And it's got pretty solid reviews, and I was like, you know, I just feel like you know, buying a game from like a small 2-person team, you know, support it, support the hustle.
Yeah.
It's like the price of like, it was like $18, so I was like, it's like the price of like a pizza. I'll give him a pizza.
Yeah.
For a whole world. I trade you one pizza for one world. Even trade? Alright. Cool. Is this how we escape the island? There's just like a bunch of people and a bed. Is that what we do? Power nap. Hmm.
We have the minutes, Sean. Our presence, our attention. So what should
Yeah.
we gaze it upon?
Right now, this this spaghetti and meatballs in this tower, I suppose. Yeah, it's a very
Did you
peculiar
make
tower.
did you make the sauce or the meatballs or the spaghetti or all three?
I wish I did, but I picked it up from across the street. Oh
So
no!
somebody made it?
Yeah,
Like a restaurant?
yeah.
Nice.
I gotta. It's like I'm like centrally located to like a bunch of food all around me. It's kind of like a castle courtyard.
Oh, nice.
Cause I'm like in this big fucking fortress, and then there's just like a baker, a shop, a pizza man, like a just like, and I have like 6 different doors, so it's like, oh, if I just like like exit on this side, I'm facing the pizza, and if I exit on this side, I'm facing the tacos.
A kingdom and a
Yeah,
pizza.
yeah, yeah.
you get both. My kingdom and a horse.
Yeah, essentially, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, if this was like 1,000 years ago, and I'm living in a damn fortress with, essentially like unlimited things in the courtyard, it's kind of like, would kind of be like on par, like resource and security wise, with like the nobility. Not social status wise, but resource and stability of like nobility.
Sure.
And and I'm just I'm just a dude hanging out. It's kind of wild to think. Back then, people would just be like eating mush every day, and like the king would be like, "Huh, I don't know if I want to have venison or pork today. I don't know. I just had beef yesterday." And now we can do that on,
Yes.
what we think is like tiny amounts of money, because everything's
Yes.
just relative. So I find like one of the surefire ways of kind of like rebalancing ideas about money, resources, things, is to like just look at literally any other point in history.
Hmm. Yes. I was just thinking about how. So right now I'm taking a walk, right? And I'm taking this walk. I guess if I'm being honest, just out of sheer joy. Like joy of being here, joy of being in creation. But as
Nice.
I walk, I, thanks, man. But as I walk, I see some mosquitoes, and I'm remembering the way that
The way that.
so much
Oh, you cut off for a
about being
second. You said I'm
unbothered by
running.
the mosquito.
I'm remembering. Sorry, I just heard I'm remembering, and then you cut out for a second.
Oh, I was just sharing that I was remembering how mosquitoes used to really bother me.
Yeah.
And as I pass a mosquito, I'm just realizing what was actually bothering me was me fighting with reality. Like it had nothing to do with the mosquito. It had everything to do with how I was resisting
Mm-hmm.
pain. And specifically, what I think is so hard for humans to deal with is purposeless suffering. I think that's
True.
the only thing, like or our biggest thorn in our side is meaningless suffering. And I was just, just kind of meditating on that, like how we end up having to invent these personalities, actually, these characters and these stories, just to try to manage this like hatred against meaningless suffering, because the world has hurt us, or we think it has,
Right.
and we like, I think in a way we feel humiliated and like victimized, so we invent this self to try to like make it, I don't know, turn it into like more of a storybook type of situation, like sort of like we're thinking in myths, and we try to create a myth out of our own personal story, but that ends up, what was meant to try to protect us from perceived suffering ends up being the cause of suffering. Do you know what I'm
For
saying?
coming up with the story.
Yeah, like by coming up with a story and then identifying with that story to try to make it feel like we didn't experience purposeless suffering. But anyways, I think you get it. My point about like the resisting two scenarios. I either go inside to avoid mosquito bites, or I get bitten and then I'm itchy. And it was like, it would make me mad just because I was like, I don't know, the feeling was getting projected onto nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
was mad inside because the ego's mad, and then I'm projecting it onto mosquitoes. But actually, mosquitoes are fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. It's not mosquito bites really in the grand scheme of things that can bite you. It's pretty benign.
It is. It
They,
is
they, they
benign.
really just test your they really just test your patience.
Wow. Well said. Well said. They
Right?
do.
Because it's like because now it's a frame of reference. Because you started out by saying, well, you know, I used to be infuriated by mosquitoes. Now I'm noticing that I'm not so bothered. So there it is. It's a
Right.
frame of reference.
It is a frame of reference. You're absolutely right. And I wonder, hey, sweetie, this way. Big girl, right here. Good girl. And then up here, up here, up here. Thank you so much. Um, yes, it is a frame of reference. And I'm wondering then, do you think as we go on to experience more and more intense emotions, that we will like experience higher highs and lower lows? Is that part of it, you think?
Um, I don't think so. No.
Interesting. Why not?
I feel like what the condition that you're talking about of feeling higher highs and lower lows is actually correlates to more towards like chaos.
Explain that.
Like forgive me if I like missed the direction, like missed the question, but it sounded like you said like, you know, in like the near to further future, do you predict we're going to like feel more intense emotions, like higher highs and lower lows? And
Yeah.
if that is the question, I would say only if you wanted to indulge chaos.
Oh.
But if you're going for like balance and peace, then absolutely not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you literally have to like make waves to get like high highs and low lows.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely
Like,
right.
you literally have to make the waves. You know what I mean? Like, if like the water is still, there is no high and low.
Right.
So it's just
You're
waves. Yeah,
absolutely
it's
right.
just waves.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It reminds me of Osho was just saying something today before I called you. He was saying there's always an observer. That like there's always a space where where part of you is just completely neutral, you know? Like such a good pointing to what you're talking about, I think. Is not making waves. Is like there's always a watcher. So when it seems like, you know, your stories are going to have a bad ending, or the stories aren't making you happy, you can always start to identify more with just that which looks right.
Yeah. Yeah.
and 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 isn't and whose attention doesn't even need to be captivated necessarily by the contents of what's happening,
Right.
right? Like it's all relative. Back to what you were saying, it's all a point of reference, or even maybe it's a point of view, you know,
Yeah.
like what you think you are, because there's always the present moment, and then there's all the stories and dramas and thoughts that are threatening to kind of cave in on you
Yeah. As soon as
if you like
it's like
believe in them.
it's like, you know, as soon as you like for example, like I stop identifying as a good WoW player, now I can't like be bothered by any sort of like FOMO or pissing contest or whatever. But also next week,
Mm,
if I wanted to, I could bring the identity right back anytime you want.
well said.
You know what I mean?
Well said.
If you just don't think that that's what you are, then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Because it's like it's the thoughts aimed with like the identity. Like if I'm like, you know, it's like, oh
Yeah,
wow,
you're
you know, WoW's really bothering me. You know, it's like it's taking up my time and causing me stress. It's like, well, stop identifying as like a WoW player.
right.
There you go.
It,
Oh, you
it,
know, I'm getting into trouble like with all these crazy girls, and it's like stop identifying as a tramp, dude.
yeah, so
A
true.
lot of people will say like, and that sounds simple, but it's like it's usually like the language is like, well, don't do this, like the actions, but it's like no, like actually before you decide what you're doing or what you're not doing, like take inventory
Mm.
of your like of your thoughts. Like what do you think you are? Not who do you think you are, like what do you think you are? You know who you are, of course, but it's like in a general, like you know, you know your name and all that, but like it's like what are you right now? Like
Yeah.
are you like are you Drew the basketball player? Are you Drew the poker player? Like which one are you? Because they're all kind of like different personas, right? So
They absolutely
if you
are.
don't like any of the personas, it's like just fucking hang it up. Hang it up.
Wow. Well said.
Cause it's like it's not you. It's like it's just like a role. In the same way that like in this computer, like I'm running around with this like goofy like green warrior, but like that's not me. That's just like what I'm playing right now. I can log
Yeah.
out anytime I want.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. It's like yeah, like not getting like I feel like sometimes people they get like they get like way too connected with like whatever role they're playing at that time, and they like it's just like you know so damn serious. It's like you know it's literally just like a role that you're playing at that time. You weren't always playing that role. You don't have to like it's not permanent.
Yeah, and if this hopefully this adds something to it, but also the role gives you something and then you give it something.
Right.
Like if this is actually an exchange,
Yep.
these roles, because there's there's a lot of hey, excuse me, hey, enough. There's a lot of benefit to these roles, but then you have to pay for them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and each one is sort of asking you to exchange your attention for the comfort of that role, so to speak.
Yep. Yep. And like kind of in the same vein, when you mentioned trade, um, I don't know if you've ever watched Josh Strife Hayes. He's like the British like MMO critic. He's quite good, and he had this like essay about where he was like kind of talking about how kind of like let's cut the crap. He's like MMOs are not good games. He's like, he's like, I play them, I like them, and then he's like, and my career is reviewing them. He's like, but they're not good. Like if you like compare them by like performance metrics, artistic metrics, it's like repetitive gameplay, very like grindy, whatever. It's not like how would I put it? It's like it's not Final Fantasy X. You know what I mean? It's just not. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is as close as you'll get, but you know what I mean. Like most of these MMOs, like he's like so. The benefit is it's the people. Like the community. Even if you're playing solo, Oh, wait a minute. I just saw someone that I know. Yo. I know there can only be one Real Bleeds. I literally just saw someone named Real Bleeds. Yo.
So funny that you were literally talking about how the benefit of the MMO is the people.
And I'm like,
and then you're like, bro, like, the people.
No, what's funny is like I think that's the first time I've ever seen someone in an MMO like recognize them, but they didn't tell me that they were playing. You know what I mean? Like I just recognized them by screen name. I'm like there can't actually be I don't think there would actually be two people named Real Bleeds. That's it's kind of specific.
Yeah.
Yo. Alright, I'm inviting him to the party. That'd be really funny if it's not who I think it is. So anyway, yeah, the trade between like the community and the game, it's like they're so risky because you actually like need both elements more so than like any other genre. Like one props up the other. And oftentimes it's like it's a symbiotic relationship. They're like, hey, we'll give you like this other world to like mess around in, but then you become one of the features, right? That it's like populated organically. That's you become an asset in the game.
Sure.
That's the trade-off. They're like, yeah, we'll make it big, but like we can't you know, make the production quality like the same as like The Last of Us. You know,
Yeah.
we'll make it big. We'll make it so you can play with other people, but you're gonna have to just like pretend that it's not a simple game that's rough. You know? And then we do, and then we pretend.
Yeah. Well, that isn't that what gaming was all about, anyways, pretending.
Yeah, dude, it's make believe for adults.
Yeah.
We used to play in the sandbox. Now we call certain types of video games sandbox. It's like it's right there in your face, you know?
So true.
It's like, oh, but in this sandbox, like, look, I have a pail, so I can actually make towers out of my pail. And you're like, oh, in my sandbox, I have a truck.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what we were saying earlier too with the role in that, stressing also that this is not done at the doing level. So it like this like, and you mentioned it too, like before behavior or before like inspecting your behavior, inspect the role, because when somebody we get used to, as a habit, identifying as the doer. So it habitually, we almost like habitually take on the roles at first. So when someone hears disidentify with the role, they might hear don't do that role.
Right.
But it has nothing to do with doing the role.
It has nothing to do with that.
It's taking on the identity in the present moment as the doer. So yeah, it's very different, because one of the side effects of this is you become actually neutral. So that, like, in the normal default human state, if someone were to get really big, they will automatically keep turning their attention on, like, okay, well, what do my customers want? So like like what this does is it preserves the genuine spice of each individual human, which then is used to like benefit the cosmic banquet. But if you try to conform, which is like what taking on a role is trying to get you to do,
Right.
like take on the security, it's almost like getting married to a role.
Yep.
It's like trying to secure itself and bunker itself with you, um so that like you share everything together. And roles are something that sometimes, like, I guess my point is, sometimes they happen consciously, but sometimes they happen unconsciously. And when you watch your thoughts, you'll watch the tendency to dive into them, as in they'll seem alluring to you. But if those same thoughts,
eh?
yeah, it's got attraction and draw and an offering, and there seems to be like joy on the other end of following that thought. But if that thought were to whisper the same thought to somebody else, that person would be like, that's a garbage thought.
Yeah.
Like, so the stories, they're like specifically targeted at you. And so it's sort of like that. What is that thing where ads like customize themselves?
Personalized ads, right?
Personalized
Or
ads.
targeting,
So like,
targeted advertising.
yeah.
Another
So
term.
thoughts are targeting advertisement. They're specifically fashioned to try to gain your attention and
I
keep
like
it.
that. I like that likening it to ads.
Yes.
Thoughts are like ads. That is actually the best way to like visualize it. It's like you can see
Yeah.
it, but it's like, you know,
Yes.
but like doesn't have to. We learned how to deal with ads when we first started using the computers, because they're like, that was like the wild west, you know, like in the 90s 2000s. There was like no ad blockers, and we just had to like deal with them. Just like remember that, just like constantly bombarded by like pop-ups.
Absolutely.
This pop-up has a virus. This pop-up's gonna, you know, curse you with this or with that. And it's like, and then we just like got past it, kind of. It's just like, yeah. But no, that is a great way to visualize, essentially, like how to contend with thoughts. I really like that.
Thanks. And then, the other thing too that's relevant in this conversation is the South Park episode with the way that ads were affecting the characters.
I love that season. That was like a whole season on the ads. That was incredible.
Nice. Yeah, the way that they show the sort of hopping on of ideas with the ads, like as thoughts, it was just like, dude, that's so us. And we revere, I mean, anybody that's paying attention should revere South Park for its social commentary, but
yeah, it's pretty expert stuff.
Yeah,
it's basically community service.
Yes. Yes, it is. And that and when that episode, or at least, like you said, some of those episodes, right, were playing, like I really like it shook me, I was like, damn, dude, like that is all of humanity. And we go along in a zombie mode of kind of like pretending because it feels safer to pretend. But it's like it's actually taking the seriousness of that role that ends up hurting you. So like, I don't know if anyone else relates to this, but cop drives by or cops near you, and you immediately, maybe you're a little high, maybe you're not. I don't know your situation. but we're immediately projecting out, not me, officer. I'm an upstanding citizen. I would never commit a crime ever.
Ever.
And and that's an example of like, you're in a present moment and a thought seems to say, I need to cut in line. This is really important. I need to get right up to the front of your attention. And it's now your job, because it's safest to align with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's now your job to play this role for a second.
Yep. Yep. Total tech switch.
Exactly. I love that you use that word, because what ends up happening is we end up chaining or aligning ourselves with the ego in terms of where we place our attention, because it seems to be benefiting us. But then the ego changes and moves goalposts in a moment. And it doesn't factor in all of the, I almost kind of want to call it dark matter. It's like you could have been thinking about anything in this second. Mm-hmm. You could have been enjoying the trees. And of course, the negative side of this is you could have been worrying too. You could have been worrying about bills, but you could have been doing anything. Humans are only able, without practice, to hold 7 things in their mind simultaneously. So unless we're a professional like magician or card counter, that's right. Most of us is a max of 7, which means that you could be feeling your right index finger, you could be feeling your left elbow, you could be feeling a throbbing in your forehead as a headache, or you could be pretending to be an upstanding citizen so you don't get a ticket.
Yeah.
But those are all, at the end of the day, choices of attention. Mm-hmm. If attention's placed on something, it it starts to become perceived as more real. If attention is taken off of something, it fades into the background.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I listened. It was like maybe a year or two ago. The last like piece of content that I saw from Jordan Peterson was like a whole lecture on how, you know, the way that we thought that we were perceiving the universe was one way, but it's like it's actually just very narrow and attention based. Like he was contrasting it to, I want to say something like it's like an actual term of like a phase of like philosophy. It was like maybe it was like universalism or uh, enlightenment or some previous phase, right? That you've heard before, but I can't remember exactly what he called it. But he said that the way that like we used to think about things was that, well, we have everything on the table, you know, and then we're just picking the best thing from that. Like we're just, you know, that's logic. And he's like, but really, like you don't have everything on the table. You have like the two or three things that you're looking at.
Right.
You know, he's like, you know, the perception of like this world around us, he's like, is far more narrow than like the thinkers from like a couple hundred years ago were talking about it. So
Yes.
so he was kind
And
of doing the same thing, like kind of zooming in a little bit more.
yes. And Alan Watts said something similar. I mean, obviously, nobody does it like Jordan Peterson. He's a unique individual and unique thinker. But, you know, Alan Watts said that humans specialize in a type of focused awareness where if our attention was a light, it would be like a laser pointer or like a very like a very strong beam,
Right.
but the size of a laser pointer. And that's so true. Like we do specialize in that because for years and years and years we were programmed and we were sort of running in a system it's very good at training people like you train a dog. With a dog, you give positive feedback for behaviors you do want, and you ignore behaviors you don't want in the dog. And human beings kind of start off like that, you know, mainly with attention. Attention ends up being the currency or approval.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we got programmed to look at things in a certain way, and we've been running that script as our experience. If we haven't found the space behind this ego identity, and basically we've assumed that all of our responses to the stimuli are perfectly reasonable, perfectly logical, very
Yeah.
defendable, very defendable reactions. And then we've created an experience that we've essentially looped by like refusing to change our perception. We've prejudged everything, and then we keep running into it in life. So we're always going to have somebody that we can project authority onto. You know, everybody in their own minds has a group of people they can project insanity onto.
Yep.
Where you've just decided that a certain group of people are nuts and you'll die on that hill. Like this is the programmed worldview. This is the programmed mindset. We've all created categories in our mind and we kind of assume that they're fixed. We assume our responses have been reasonable and we can defend them. And we insist that all of us on some level insist that life has wronged us in some sort of ways.
Yeah.
And it's that identity script that creates the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I share all this because
It's like a
that
snake eating
means at a
itself.
very Yes, it is like a snake eating itself, and with the buddy buddy team up of the ego, the buddy buddy team up of the serpent mind that's speaking words in people's heads. With that team up, that serpent, that voice will ensure that you are distracted 24/7. It will, when you try to go to bed at night, it is your boss if you're identified with this thing. If you have a relationship that most people have where they say or they hear a voice that says I'm hungry, and before you even notice anything's happening, you're already walking to the refrigerator or picking up your phone to see what you're going to DoorDash or going to the cabinets. Like this voice is your boss by default. And what the Native Americans have been trying to share with people for thousands of years, or at least their leaders, their shamans, their wisdom, their, you know, whatever they call themselves, chiefs, I don't know. But the spiritual person, whatever, they've been passing on this wisdom, just like all cultures have tried to pass on some wisdom, but they've been passing on this awareness that life as you see it is a guest, and it's all here one moment and gone the next, never to be seen again if you let it go. The past cannot haunt you if you just let it go.
Right.
Like, so seeing as how if we observe our own nature, you will notice that you yearn for freedom, you yearn for novelty, you don't want to have an erection 24 hours a day, you don't want to sleep 24 hours a day, you don't want to eat 24 hours a day.
Right.
You want novelty. And so, like, since that's the condition within you, that truly, if asked, you would have to admit you would be happiest with novelty. And then life is kind of like constantly bringing you that novelty, but we're missing it because the thoughts in our heads keep stealing our attention. So while life has brought you exactly what you manifested yesterday and a week ago and a month ago and a year ago and 10 years ago, because we yearned for diversity even then. When we were 10, we also yearned to be 20.
Yep.
Part of us yearned to be 30.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why, like, you know, I had a moment of reflection off of, like, one of your posts where I, you know, tried to put myself in the mind of myself when I was 10, and I'm like, I would be pumped. If I was
Yes.
10 and, like, saw I was, like, you know, hanging out in a
Yes.
fortress with, like, a bazillion games and, like, you know, a fucking cat and, like, a bazillion friends, and, you know, it's compared to, like, you know, where I started at, which was basically, you know, no friends, living out in the woods, drinking powdered milk and eating hot dogs. Like, I would be like, whoa, that's sick, you know.
Yes.
And that's the thing, right? Like, everybody's like experience is, you know, oftentimes, like, very much like colored by your childhood. And so, like, sometimes as, like, a pragmatic adult, I'm like, oh, dude, so wasteful. Like, I have, like, you know, hundreds of games, and, like, I don't finish them, you know, because that would be the what's the word, the, not pragmatic, but the practical is the word I was looking for. The practical thing to do would be have, like, 10 games, and then, like, you finished 9 of them and you're working on the 10th one, right? So I'll, like, yearn for that, like, practical scenario that just doesn't really exist with hardly anybody. But then, like, I recalled, I was just like, Yeah, but like when you were a kid, like you spent a ton of time just like reading through game magazines, wishing that you had most of the games in the magazine.
Wow.
But you thought that it could never happen. It would just be too much. And like then I get older and I'm like, yeah, it's actually not that far out of the way for me to just have most of the things in the magazine and have some kind of opinion on it. Um, and so I was like, this is really just, it's not exactly like at first glance, I'm like, I'm being frivolous. But at a second glance, I was like, no, this was actually like really important to me when I was like 10. It was like really
Wow.
important, you know? So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, all right. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. I mean, because again, it's like, well, what exactly is it that you're trying to do here? You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
People have to have hobbies. Because if they
And
don't,
also,
what is the first thing that people say if you don't? Maybe you should get a hobby. And then you get a hobby and you're like, oh, am I spending too much time or money on this hobby? It's like, well, maybe. But are you actually? So I guess what I'm getting at is just, you know, that like if you had arrived, would you even notice? It's like the conclusion,
I love that. I think
you
that's
know?
worded perfectly.
Yeah, that's how
Mhm.
I could kind of bubble down that whole story.
Would you even notice?
Yeah, because
What a powerful wording.
most of the time we don't.
No.
It's like relax, dude. You did it. You did the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think was it yesterday the line came up like smoking a pancake? No.
Yep.
Bonging a
I
waffle?
see. There's no
No.
pleasing you, Mr. Powers.
Piping a crepe? I
I'm gonna
see
blitz.
there's no then there's no pleasing you.
Yeah.
And this mental space that can be existed from this witness, this pixel mode, that this allows you to receive everything you want all the time and from your perspective instantly. Because it really only asks that you just be honest with yourself about what arriving means to you.
Right.
Because here's the thing, the sad truth that all egos hate to hear it, and I got so mad the first time I heard it. We chose to be here, so you weren't happy up there. Now you come down here and you're not happy again. And at some point, we just got to be honest enough and brave enough and respectful to our true selves enough to just come in contact with what is it that you want?
Yeah.
Like, what will please you?
Yeah.
Like,
Just be
this
honest.
is what's that?
Yeah. Try to be honest.
Just try to be honest. Because if you're not being honest, you're literally playing a video game that is making you miserable and you're just refusing to log off.
Right.
That's all that's happening.
Yep.
Like, if you can't explain clearly what you want, and that includes how much money, if you want money, you need to know how much. And not just how much, you need to know what you would want to do with it.
Yeah.
Which is like, the ego hates that because it wants to just want money for money's sake.
Right.
But it's the ego that's causing all the suffering in the first place.
Right.
So we have to like get unlatched from this thing, and one of the ways is just be super honest about what would make you happy. Because then you can test it. If you keep following the ego, it never gets tested. The ego asserts thousands of things. You believe probably 5% of them, but it's enough to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, because it's like
And
I can do this all day.
yeah, and it will, but it's throwing tons of things at you. And if you keep letting your attention be scattered and never measuring it, never testing it on its accuracy, never attending to awareness itself, to the observer, you're literally stuck in a video game and you're refusing to log out just because you keep wanting to channel your personality.
Yep.
And and a therapist will like let you exhaust yourself on your own desire to feed on trauma for the information to finally get through that you're the one that's continuing to place your attention and your identity in all the same places, in all the same ways, day after day. And you tell yourself it'd be different if you won the lottery, but stop kidding yourself. If you're in the picture, nothing's going to change.
Yep.
It can't change. I could double or triple your income right now. It would change nothing. Nothing of substance. Because you'd still be you. And this is the problem with the ego is it's monopolizing our attention. It's feeding us tons and tons of stories, 5% of which we think are true, which is a disaster. And then we're causing all of this pain and suffering on ourselves. And the thing is that we keep doing this every day. Every day there's a choice to be your old self or to drop it. But once you get in the mode of the doer, you're stuck there. You never get out. It's like our heads never come up for air to realize that it could be done totally differently. It could be maybe far more accurately, it could be thought of very differently.
So,
Go ahead.
in the game right now, I'm in this tomb, and I get this pop up that says your intuition is sensing danger down this hallway. You might want to come back later, or you can just check it out now. And I start to go down
Ooh.
there, and it's like it's wincing this like red pain signal on the screen, and then it just starts. I see like floating texts of like negative thoughts on the screen. Like
Whoa.
it's like actually illustrating like kind of like going mad as you walk down the hallway. And then like as I retreat, it goes away. But there's like other people running down there. I don't know if they have a special item or something, but I'm like, I kind of want to see like what a little bit more of that looks like. But so far, this game is very creative because they're like, I found an obelisk, right, and it just said the first coordinate is a 4, and then this little like help thing says you might want to write that down. We have a notepad in your quest journal. So like the quest journal doesn't auto-populate. You have to like write your own journal.
Wow.
Sort of like, um, so like I write I'm trapped on an island. I'm trying to figure out how to get out. A player told me to go to a tower, but I didn't find anything. I went into this cave, and there's like madness down the hallway. Like I have to write the journal. Like you know how like every single game we've ever played, like auto populates the quest journal for you.
Hmm.
But in this one, like they're just telling you like, okay, if you get clues, like you write them down, like you're writing the story. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I could like Google this, but it would completely defeat the purpose of the exercise.
Yeah. And it's like it's good to take a break, right? Like you were talking about, like break
Yeah,
from enjoying combat or break from your current mentality base.
right. I'm like, okay, so they explained to me when I turned the game on, like this game is about getting lost. So I'm like, I'm conditioned to just like look up, a guide. But I'm like, oh no, no, no. Like I'm trying to experience it the way that this husband and wife would like it to be. Like when the sushi chef corrects my grandmother and says, "I would rather if you ate the food like with chopsticks and like one bite, for one piece." Because she's sitting there
Mm.
trying to like chop up the sushi with her fork, and he's like, "Please, like, you know, I'm the chef. I would like you to, play along, you know, eat the food the way that
Wow.
I want you to eat it, please." And I feel like that's kind of what was going on here with this game is they're like, we cooked up something different, and we'd like you to like try not to look anything up. They offered, if you need help, they are encouraging that you just talk to other players, to encourage like being social instead of
Mm.
just, reading a page on the internet. And they're like, and also just like write down your tips. And then, because they said you can like swap your journal with someone else's journal and like compare notes.
Wow.
Very different from like really any other kind of role playing game. It's like actually kind of making it somewhat of like a puzzly game, or like kind of like how Zelda, like you have to like figure out how to get through things that doesn't just like give you a marker on like which door to go for.
Mm.
So it's just very different. Instead of like, oh, I just need to get out of here as quickly as possible, they're like, no, no, like we want you to like actually experience what it's like to be like washed up on an island and be trapped. Because like the intro cutscene was like, um, my character going like, no, I'll never join you, and then like these three like crones like knock him out with a spell, and they're like, he's gonna learn, send him to the island. So like these witches send me here, and like this is not the game. This is obviously the tutorial, but like in order to get how the game works, they're like you have to like escape an island, not by like running through and killing everything and looting everything, but by like actually figuring it out.
Mm.
So it's a little bit more of a thinker.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm.
I see a bunch of people crowded around a dead skeleton with a giant head.
Mm.
I'm just gonna ask them, is this important? Also, does anyone have the second or third coordinate digit? I have first and fourth. Maybe I can trade, you know? Like
Yeah.
I found obelisks that have like a piece of some kind of password. I don't know where you use the password, but like instead of trading like a sword for a shield, or pants for boots, I'm like I have to trade information.
Mm.
You know, it's like and I'm like thinking about this. I'm like, this is kind of like life. You know, we're dropped into this thing. You don't really know what the objectives are, but you can work together to like figure some things out.
Hmm.
So let me pull up my little notepad. I'm gonna help these guys out. Um, First digit is 6. Fourth digit, oops. Fourth digit is 8. Does anyone have the second or third? Talking about the obelisks. This is kind of cool, you know? It's like we're all like a bunch of inmates here that have no idea what's going on. And
Hmm.
and and like I'm assuming that most, if not all, of these people are following the instructions from the chef to like not look it up because they seem just as lost as I am.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Where did she leave that note on the like was it on Steam or
No, it was like a which note are you talking about? Like how to play the game?
nope. Yeah.
Like it was like the first pop up when I got control of my
Oh, okay.
character. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Um, Sick. So some guy named Jestro said the second and third digits are 9 and 1. But now, see, we
Beautiful.
also have to trust his information. Second digit of coordinate. So now I just have to like update my journal. Is 1. Third digit. This is cool. This actually like reminds me a lot more of like playing actual D&D where like you really don't know what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You just have to like kind of take a stab at it and see what happens.
Mm.
Is 9. Like these people definitely play Dungeons and Dragons and they were like trying to make a little bit more of an organic experience rather than, well, the game told me I have to go here and the game, remembers all the details. It's like this thing's like, no,
Yeah.
dude, write your own journal. you know.
Mm.
It's,
I heard a cool pointing today, speaking of journaling, or rather thinking of journaling. Um, they said the my this guru that I've been listening to, Osho, said paint a picture, and as you're finishing up the final strokes, you'll notice that there's something has changed within you. You've changed. Um because he was basically like talking about creating as like a pure worship, and like journaling is I don't know, I think journaling's creative, but I think lots of things are creative too. I think that's actually what we seek when we play video games is like a way to be creative. uh,
yeah,
I don't know what
it's
your
because
thought
it's
on that
because
is.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a sandbox.
Yeah. Yeah, well said.
And all right, someone else says talk to the elf at the tower. It's like I've been to the tower twice. I didn't even know that there was an elf that you could talk to. It's like
Mm.
I've been there twice. Apparently, I just wasn't looking. Um, but I can't stay on for much longer because I do have to work. Stayed up a little too much last night. I can't stay up so much today.
For sure. You want to call it now, or what's going to be most convenient for you?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get out of this fight and then get out of here. I try to make a bedtime of 10 o'clock if I have to get up at 6. Kind of how the math works out on average.
Sure.
But I'll run, yeah. I'll just leave myself here, and I'm going to leave a journal note in here. Jestro, who is a player, instead of an NPC giving me a clue, I'm like, well, Jestro says I should talk to, because I might play this game tomorrow, or I might play it next year. I don't, but the journal will be nice, you know. How many times have you like logged into a game you haven't played in a long time, and you're like, I don't remember what I was doing, and like you check the journal, and it doesn't make any sense because like you didn't write it.
True.
So I can just like make it as like straight to the point as possible, and just be like, Jestro says I should talk to the elf inside this tower. I'm gonna leave myself right in front of the tower, so that when I log in, I can just, like Memento, right? I'm like leaving like it reminds me of Memento. Like that's how this like game is structured. It's like you're not gonna really remember, so maybe just, you know, jot it all down. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a really good place to leave it. It's crazy. Like I played this game for 2 hours and basically got almost nowhere, but I had a ton of fun. It's like, isn't that weird? It's like we've been conditioned to think that like fun is like making like tons of progress, and then this game's like, but is it though? Like, wouldn't it be like more cool to be immersed in the world?
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. Something different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll end
Isn't
it.
it